Hi there, I'm going to demonstrate the hat hoop today. This is not the janome hat hoop. I bought it on Amazon and I paid 40 something for it, I believe. I've had it for a couple of years. I'm not exactly sure what I paid for it, but if you go on Amazon, it says that it is for the 350 and 400, I believe. It doesn't mention the 500E or the 550, but it fits. It fits in the 5x7 hoop, and you just, instead of using your top hoop, this is your top hoop. You place it in the bottom hoop. So, I have traced the hat hoop and cut out my sticky stabilizer in that shape. You don't have to cut it out in that shape. I am almost out of sticky stabilizer, so I'm trying to save on it. And I taped it to tear away. So now, I have tried doing hats using spray adhesive. It's just not really sticky enough. This is the best way I have found to do it. I've tried lots of pins, also didn't work well. You really have to get all the wrinkles out of the hat. So I'm going to place this so the sticky stabilizer fits right inside the hoop, and push it into my 5x7 hoop and make sure it's tight. Now I'm going to tape this guy back because we don't want to sew that up under your hat. If it catches that trim, your hat won't fit right. Oops, sorry. So there we go. It's all taped back and it's not going to get in the way. Now, I'm going to put the hat in this little slot, the beak of the hat, and there's an arrow. That arrow will point right to the center of your hat. Make sure it's in there tightly and screw it in. Now I'm going to make sure that there are no wrinkles in the hat, and there's also a center line on your hoop here. And I will make sure that the center line on the back of the hat lines up. Quite easy to get it centered with the hat hoop. Now, it's all almost wrinkle-free. There we go. And there we have it, ready to embroider. I'm going to add a couple of pins, which I am quite certain is not necessary, but just to give it a little bit more security. The sticky stabilizer does hold it down quite nicely. Okay, and there we go. Now I'm going to head to the machine. Now, the key is putting it in the right hoop and not the 5x7. A lot of people go to your first page of hoops and put it in the 5x7 hoop. And then you appear to have a lot more room than you actually do. We do have another page, and go to the other page, and here is your hat hoop. And there you have the right size. I'm going to start off with I'm going to put it in the 7.9 hoop, just because I know, because I tried it already, that my words are not going to fit. They will fit when I shrink them, but when you're putting them in full size, they won't go across the hat hoop. So now I'm going to find my file and on my USB. Here he is, ready to go. And I'm going to add the words. I'm going to start with small and uppercase, lowercase, uppercase again. Oh, this is for a space. Okay, and there we have it. Now I know, because I tried it already, that this has to be at 80% in order to fit in the hat hoop. And I'm going to arch it and lower it. Now I'm going to choose the hat hoop. And there we go, it fits. I'm going to lower this a little bit more. There is not as much space, even as the hat hoop appears to have, when you actually start to embroider, because the bottom of the hoop right here will go over your beak. And I will probably demonstrate that in a minute where this is sitting. I think it's going to hit the beak. I'm going to try one more. Okay. Oh, I'm going to make him a little smaller too, actually. Even though he fits, I want him to be as small as he can. There we go. Now, I'm going to add the hoop. I'm going to click the hoop in and do an outline. Very important when you're using the hat hoop. So it probably will hit here. And there we go. So it's hitting the very edge of the beak, and this is where the center is. As you can see on my design, I'm not embroidering here and here, so I know it's not actually going to hit the hoop, but it's coming pretty close right here. So I'm going to move it up just a little bit more. The problem is, when you go up this high, you're getting quite far up there on your head, and you want your design to be centered in here as much as possible and not up beyond these guys. When you do that, then your design is sitting on the top of your head. So now I will outline it again. I'm going up a tiny bit more. And that will do the trick. So now I'm ready to embroider. When I start, I'm going to reduce the speed because I want to make sure that it's not going to hit the bottom of the hat at all. So I'm going to go down to 400 and start. Here I tested the very bottom to make sure that it wouldn't hit anything, and it doesn't, so I'm good to go. My hat is almost done, but my bobbin thread is running out. I have seen a few posts where people have asked, can I change my bobbin thread in the middle of a project? Yes, you can even turn off your machine in the middle of the project. So I have already replaced my bobbin thread and I'm ready to go again. But let's say I have run out of time and I will have to finish this later. So I could leave my machine on and it will automatically, the light will turn off and all is fine. But I can also just turn it off and come back to it and it will be in the same spot. So turn my machine off. I'll turn it back on a few hours later. Make sure your hoop is removed. That is very important because your arm is going to go right back to the beginning. And I need to clean and oil my bobbin holder. And I will do that when my hat is finished. Has the bobbin holder been cleaned? I pressed OK because I will do it shortly, but now resume last pattern. So yes, I want to resume the last pattern. I hit OK and I'm ready to go in the same spot I left off. I was on step number 5 and I am still on step number 5. One reason that I might turn my machine off in the middle of a project is if something gets bumped and it is misaligned. If you notice that your machine, your stitching is all of a sudden misaligned and you don't know why, or you do know that you hit it or the arm has run into something, stop the machine, turn it off, do what I just did. It will go back to where it should be. It should be properly aligned when you go back.